con Lu Vargas y el maestro Juan.
Buenas noches, muy buenas noches y bienvenidos como cada uno de los viernes a una edición más de Vivir en Luz, este programa que se dedica a abrir la puerta del conocimiento, de la verdad, de las llaves, de la felicidad y de algún modo o de alguna manera sacar hacia afuera todo el conocimiento oculto, la sabiduría ancestral, todas esas herramientas que nos van a proporcionar de ahora y para siempre todo lo que necesitamos para ser auténticos, genuinos, libres y felices. Así que sean todos bienvenidos a una nueva edición de Vivir en Luz. Y ahora es el momento de presentar quien configura hoy esta gran mesa radiofónica y visual también, radiofónica y televisiva, de esta nueva edición de Vivir en Luz. A mi izquierda, la vicepresidenta de la Asociación de San Jorge, vidente, terapeuta, médium, especialista en la biodecodificación y muchas cosas más, Esther, Castejón. Y para no perder las buenas costumbres, Esther, Castejón, que mola muy bien. Bienvenida, buenas noches, welcome, señora.
Hola, buenas noches, gracias por estar de nuevo aquí con nosotros. Y ahora estaba dando ahí un pensamiento que estamos en el mes de abril, el mes de...
Lluvias mil.
De Aries. Lluvias y miel y frío, o sea, sí, vamos al fuego, pero fuego frío.
Fuego frío, estaban habiendo unos cambios y los cambios que se van a acontecer. De todos modos, les pedimos disculpas porque los últimos tiempos, entre Semana Santa, no Semana Santa, ha pasado un poco de todo. Pero bueno, ya saben ustedes que nosotros somos auténticamente fieles a nuestra cita de los viernes de Vivir en Luz, porque es algo que nuestra alma solicita sin límites. Ahora presentamos otra de las estrellas que configura esta mesa radiofónica de los viernes, Vivir en Luz. Él es él, ¿no? Como sí, él es él. Definitivamente. Thor, que es cantante, escritor, que él defiende, sabe y es conocedor de los antiguos preceptos y de toda la cultura nórdica, un auténtico sanador, un libre pensador, un líder nato y un alma excelente que comparte cada uno de los viernes mesa con nosotros. Y es que nunca mejor dicho, también se dijo de Jesús, él es él. Entonces, bienvenido, welcome, Thor, una noche más, Vivir en Luz, tu programa, tu casa, tu micrófono y tu silla.
Muchas gracias. Preciosa.
Y hoy es un programa como siempre, porque nosotros tantos años, yo no sé si hace ya 5 años que venimos haciendo el programa aproximadamente, más o menos, por ahí andamos, porque yo soy un poco despistada, señores, yo no cuento.
Es que no hay tiempo.
Es que yo no cuento, hay
no
personas
existe.
Que cuando se sientan aquí dicen, programa número 233, yo eso no lo he hecho nunca. Ni en la radio ni en la televisión no lo he hecho nunca. Una nueva edición más que se trata de compartir, diseminar semillas, pero hoy sí. Esto es una primicia mundial, ¿no? Y sobre todo en España. Y este programa que llega a los confines de la tierra. Hoy tenemos una persona, tenemos un alma pura, tenemos a alguien que es un ser de verdad, tenemos a alguien prodigioso, tenemos a una mente brillante, a una persona, a un hombre espectacular, maravilloso, un defensor de los derechos humanos y no tiene límites ante nada y ante nadie. Y para todos nosotros y especialmente para nuestro amigo, compañero y hermano Thor, es un honor infinito e ilimitado y gigantesco tener aquí, primicia mundial, porque nosotros somos los primeros en todo, señores y señoras. Tenemos a Keenan con nosotros, que va a estar proporcionándonos conocimiento, sabiduría y que nos va a hablar de todos esos cambios mundiales que vienen, que son ya una realidad latente y que ya no se puede dejar para mañana, porque señoras y señores, este mundo está cambiando, la verdad sale hacia afuera como por los poros de la piel y uno de los mejores representantes, o a lo mejor el único brillante, ¿no? Podríamos decir, de los representantes en el mundo es Keenan. Así que welcome, sir.
Thank you.
You are welcome.
Glad to be here.
Thor,
And thank you for all your help.
thank you. You are very welcome. We are very happy to see and listen you. And when we start, we want to listen you, all your knowledge, experiences, and all you want to share with us. We are ready to listen.
I will do a short introduction, Neil. Sorry to interrupt you. This person to me is a person. There's very few people in this world which I admire. I follow this man since 8 years now, and there is some very few people I admire, and this man has been through, I think, as much as I have been myself. So that's why I felt very familiar with his struggles, and there has been many attempts on his lives, and that's the reason why I connected the first time, is because I sensed his struggle, I sensed his low-frequency attacks from everywhere. So without any further ado...
But I'm winning.
Yeah, that's the thing, man.
All that matters is I win.
And without any further ado, I want to introduce this person, which is a hero for truth and a fighter, a warrior of the very few. I'm very honored, Mr. Neil, Master Neil. We feel like you are family because of the struggles. We recognize the struggles. We recognize the powers that fight against you. We know about all these things. So it's an honor that you're still with us, because I don't know how many attempts now, 8 murder attempts on your life? 12.
It's too much.
So
I'm Irish. I'm Irish. I can handle it.
So we've connected a little bit with the spiritual world. We see your intent very clearly, and we see also the sources of the attacks that has been upon you. But now it's your turn. I would like to ask you a little bit about, or ask if you can tell a little bit about your childhood. What led you into this direction of greatness, encountering greatness and changing history? How did it start?
That began when I was young anyway, with my competitive spirit. When I played something, I played to win. And if I lost, I'd bring in players from other neighborhoods and that were better than the team that beat us. I would bring other players in, so we kicked their backsides. So we would never lose. I might lose once in a while, but I'd bring in players from all over the country, actually, in some cases, so that we'd win. And it's the same as business. It's the same as what we're doing now. I'm putting together a team right at this moment with some of the most powerful people on the planet that are not cabal.
Oh.
That are not cabal. You got worried when I said that, and then I said, but not cabal.
No.
I saw you shake.
My whole life was...
They're not cabal. We're going to be in Indonesia, I think, at the end next week, the end. And we're going to be doing what we should have done a long time ago, but had many obstacles in the way, including a attempted coup d'etat the last time. And once we get into where we're supposed to be in the bunkers and so on, we will be able to change the face of the world, of the planet.
Neil,
better than that is, you heard of the Bilderbergers. Because you're from over close to them. Well, we're going to be building a group similar to theirs, only with good people, and controlling all the money. And we're going to be coming after the Bilderbergers.
Yo creo que Esther podría dar alguna pinceladita.
I think we can maybe cross-cut and make the translations
Okay,
later.
okay. Fantastic.
Okay,
excuse me. We can follow, of course.
Neil Keenan is busy with something called it's a planning agency which will reward people with good ideas and with solutions for every problem in this world, how to create the new societies that we've been speaking a lot about before. And they are a solution-oriented office or a group of people who will change the world, and they will reward ideas and new inventions that are promoting this planet, this humanity, and all living, of course. Neil, let's get back to you. Much more interesting.
If you're running in the jungle with me, that's interesting.
Yeah. I remember the first time I approached you, I said that you need somebody to taste your food and to see clearly the dangers that comes ahead. So I was telling you I put up a Viking team with 5-6 warriors, and we come and we protect you day and night. That was the first time I remember I wrote to you.
We're going to be in Indonesia, and it's going to be probably the end of that part of the game. There'll be a new game after this, if you want to call it a game. And I think in many cases, even though it's violent and it's diabolical, it's a game. It's a matter of who wins. We have to win. We cannot lose. If we lose, mankind will be destroyed by them, as they're trying to do now. And they're doing it right in front of our faces, and they're telling us what they're doing, and nobody's doing anything about it. And so it really comes down to my opening those bunkers.
Can you tell a little bit about the short summit of the history of your road to Amana, and you're a spokesperson of the Black Dragon family. You are a spokesperson of the Black Dragon.
Not Black Dragon, no, just Gold Dragon.
Oh, Gold Dragon family. Excuse. Just very short, the steps from your lawyer's business, and then in the directions it led you to now.
My lawyer's business. Well, the Dragon family scouted me out because they thought they knew me even before they saw me, and they felt that. And this was in about 12 years ago, 13 years ago, and they met up with me, and we ended up making somewhat of a marriage, and while meeting in Switzerland. But that was when everything was calm and everything was cool, and we were going to do this and we were going to do that, and we were offering the United States and various parts of the world financial the funds from the bunkers in order for them to complete the packages that they needed. They needed to Americans needed to rebuild their automotive industry. They needed to do things for the airlines, because the airlines were succumbing to the financial pressures. And all over the world we were doing this, but because of the cabal, and I didn't know it then, I had no idea, because of the cabal, nobody would dare venture into something that would help the people. It didn't, whereas the jobs and the automotive industry, the jobs and the airline industry and everything else, and every other industry that they had, we could have helped. And we submitted proposals to them, for example, Obama and his group and so on, and everybody under the sun with them who were involved. And they didn't respond, but they took some money. And this is their history, though. They take money and they don't do their job. So I saw that happening, and I didn't like it. I mean, I had my own businesses at the time, and I knew then that to get into this, it was going to be a full-time job, because nobody had laid a path to it, to what we wanted to do, especially what I wanted to do. And I was like the young one at the time, and I was seeing all these things. I'm meeting all these people, and I'm saying they're doing it all wrong. And they were doing it wrong. But nevertheless, Obama said no, and everybody else said no. And those requests to the various countries in Europe, United States, Canada, even Asia, they were saying no, because the money in the bunkers, they were trying to steal for themselves. The money that came from Asia, they had their hands into it. So they didn't want anybody to get anything, especially with humanitarian projects, when they were getting wealthy with whatever they could get. So that started it. And that started it. And that, want me to continue?
Yeah, absolutely.
And then the second part of it all was when I had 164.5 billion in assets. And I gave them to Daniel Dabasco to safekeep them for me. And instead of safekeeping them, he went running with them. And then they had Yamaguchi with the problem at Chiasso in Italy. You know, the notes that crossed the border.
Yes, I remember.
But that was basically all fake too, but the notes were real. And everything you heard and everything you saw on the internet basically was a lie. It was a lie. Yamaguchi went before the judge, like they said, and the judge let him go because he didn't want to interfere with the Golden Dragon family's work. And also, the big thing was Italy owed the Golden Dragon family so much money that the Yamaguchi could close their government down in a day. So they were very nervous when Yamaguchi says, do you know who I am? Do you know who we are? Do you know what we can do? Call your prime minister. He'll tell you. And the judge got nervous. He said, we got the wrong guy in here. And soon enough, Yama was released, and he left Italy and went to Barcelona.
Yeah, he's around.
He went to Barcelona. He was looking for you guys. and then he went from there to Hong Kong and called me and told me what happened. Later, mine happened. And I went looking for mine everywhere, Italy, and I chased the people down. Italy, Sardinia, Costa Esmeralda in Sicily or Sardinia. Then I went I came back up to Germany, and Tabasco was moving every which way, moved to France. We found him there. But there was no reason to chase this guy. He couldn't do anything with the notes because they had to be approved by not only the holders, not the holders, but the depositors, owners, but they had to be approved by also the BIS and so on, and they couldn't do that. So you're stuck with paper that's worth a lot of money, but you can't do anything with it. So that must be the most painful thing that ever hit that guy, was when he tried to cash it in and he couldn't.
So every day you look in the mirror, he have to face himself. That is.
Well, he was working with the the World Economic Forum.
Yeah.
Okay?
Tor, excuse me. I have to say, lo voy a decir en español. Tenemos que decir que para todas las personas que están escuchando, el próximo viernes, lo que vamos a hacer, porque ahora vamos a hacer toda la entrevista de seguido, y el próximo viernes haremos cortes para traducir. We translate next Friday. So,
también comentar de que el programa lo colgaremos en
YouTube y saldrán los subtítulos
con
en
la
español. Pero lo que pasa es que no podemos estar cortando. We can cut constantly because it's not nice. And it's just to say that to people is hearing and listening and watching. You can follow that.
Thank you. Neil, I would like to ask about if you round up this segment of what's happening right now. We are definitely a spiritual seeking program. So you also had some very nice encounters and what you call some upgrades in your life, some connection with the spirits, because you became the Amana, the M1.
Well, Yamanaris is a very spiritual person, and I never knew that, and
Excellent.
and I never knew I could be that spiritual either, because even though I saw my father after he passed away, the day he died, that night he was in my room talking to me.
Excellent.
And he was
Exactly.
explaining to me that his mother, his father, his sisters and brothers were all coming to get him, and he had to wait for them. He said he could see now, he could hear now, his pain was gone and everything else. He says so much better. over here than it is over there. But he says, I'm going to miss you, but I'm going to be waiting for you to come, and your brothers and your mother.
He's always
So,
with you, always with you.
Well, I've when I need him, he's around. You know, and the same thing goes with President Sukarno over in Indonesia, the one who passed away, who was Amanah first, and then I'm the second. He, when I need help, I need something, I need information or whatever, he's around. I mean, there's pictures on my internet. Really, this is true, and there's pictures on my internet when I was in Blitar at Sukarno's home in a workplace in Blitar. I stayed in his room, the only person ever to do that, from what I understand. I stayed in his room, and some spirit came at night and was supposed to scare me. And I could feel it in the room because my hairs on my arm stood up. And I said, there's something here. And I did what I was told, you know, not be afraid and just come after him. And when I did, he ran out the door, slamming a door that was locked in 3 places and blocked by my luggage. So he couldn't have gotten out the door, but he did. And everything was still the same when I went to it, and I looked out the door, and I looked up and down, and I saw security coming from each way, asking me, Mr. Keenan, are you okay? I said, yeah. They said, did you hear any noise, Mr. Keenan? I said, yeah, that's looking out here. I don't know what it is.
Nobody
I didn't want anybody to think I was crazy, you know?
With all spirits, they want to communicate, so it's just it's only fear in man's mind, which is blocking this connection or communication.
Yeah, well, we got pictures of me in the big room in Blitar, Sukarno's, and they did a seance, like a seance. And Eunice was the media in the middle, medium, and he wasn't talking at all, and all of a sudden out of his mouth was a big booming sound, and it was Sukarno telling everybody that they had to listen to me. That he's turned everything over to me. If you don't listen to him, you won't be here long. Excellent. And I was looking at it saying, how did they do this? You know? How did they do this? But to make the whole thing real is I was showing my friend Charles up in the corner, sitting in the corner, my hand. And I says, look at my hand. It's turning gold in the middle between the 2 fingers here. And I showed him the gold in here. And he went, my God, what is that? And I said, I don't know. Don't have any idea. But they were taking pictures of it. And behind me, in the pixels, was President Sukarno.
Wow.
I will just say very quickly for the audience that Sukarno was the person, the Amanah M1, who worked together with John F. Kennedy. They tried to make a new... Yeah?
And first president of Indonesia, Democratic president.
And they were planning, like John F. Kennedy wanted to expose all the bad things America was busy with, or the different agencies, and they tried to make a new currency backed on gold. So we all know...
the Green Hilton Agreement, yes.
So everybody knows what's happened to John F. Kennedy, and we're very glad that you're still alive, Neil.
Yeah, but what happened to John F. Kennedy happened because Lyndon Johnson was with him on the trip. And they were planning to kill John Kennedy at that time, because he not only was looking to create a new currency, he was also planning on getting rid of the agencies, most especially the CIA.
Exposing them, yeah.
Not exposing them, getting rid of them. No more.
What a hero.
So, I mean, you know, he came in and he had his guns out and he was firing, but he had the wrong guy in his corner, Lyndon Johnson, who was telling the Bushes and everybody back home in stateside, telling them what Kennedy was doing and what he planned on doing. So they had everything ready for him when he came home.
When Trump released the John F. Kennedy report, he left out some 300 or 400 pages, and that was because Bush Sr. was still alive and Rumsfeld was also still alive. But in that, what he released was for direct proof of deep state involvement. So, yeah, all honor to that act.
Well, deep state started a long time before that too. You know, the deep state's probably been about 100 years, maybe more. As a matter of fact, in the 1800s, if you go back into the early 1800s, they tried to destroy the Masons because they were illegally doing everything.
Yeah, in the 70s also here in Europe, they had to dismantle a lot of the masonry. The old ones who were true to the cause. Now it's puppets doing the political shit. But most of the masons were dismantled here in Europe in the 70s because people are afraid of their lives. Most of the good ones.
People are still afraid. You know, that's why when I filed my lawsuit, which was financial tyranny, everybody ran. Everybody ran. They were running everywhere. I was wondering why. But you're supposed to be afraid of these people.
Yeah, people die.
But they didn't come after me, and I was waiting for them to, but they didn't. And other people started filing actions like I did. But mine went quite a bit further than theirs, because I named the names and I put down what they did. You know?
Do you know Lord Blackheart? No, Blackheath.
Blackheath.
Yeah.
I know who he is, and he knows who I am.
Okay.
And when I was told to call him, and he said, "Please don't call here. We know who you are."
Good. No, I was one of the first I see who dared to speak about this $1 trillion scam, the highest financial institutions are busy with. So your work is honorable. It's.
I think Blackheath tried to do a lot of good things, but he was with the wrong people.
Yeah,
I mean, he was with people claiming to have access to the assets, the OITC, which was Ray Dam and Keith Scott and people like that. And maybe Ray Dam was possibly could have done it. The Keith Scott, who was smart, couldn't do it. And he's been doing the same things for years, and he's still doing it. So it hasn't changed. They offered automobile industries to England, but they didn't have the money to offer, and the notes that they had didn't belong to them. So you always have to ask the first question when you see the notes: are you the owner? Who's the depositor? If it's not you, then you better have a good reason why you're in there. Otherwise, you're going to jail. You know?
Can you tell us a little bit about the planning agency and then because it's a little bit sunshine in this world of strange news nowadays.
What we're planning?
This planning agency to promote humanity and to build.
That's with my group, my team, and once we get through the bunker, and we clean it up, and we get the things into the vault where they belong, we're going to be developing underdeveloped nations, for example, first and foremost. We'll be going through that, and we'll have plenty of money to do that. From what I understand, we have quadrillions of dollars, which is, we can probably spend it if we all go out together in Barcelona, probably in 3 or 4 days. You know, but
then we have the infrastructure in the whole world after these 3 or 4 days.
Basically, that's where we're heading, and things have changed a little bit. We're doing the infrastructures. We're going to be doing infrastructures. We're going to be building schools. But, you know, we have free energy, too. We have free energy. We have healing computers. We have plasmic water that can clean the water in the mountains that's filthy, so everybody can drink. There's nobody that should be denied water. We need the water.
Yeah, 12 million people die every year from water shortage, and you know, it costs a couple of $100 million. So this
maybe not even water. Maybe not water shortage, but the dirt, the filth in the water, the toxins in the water. They're getting sick when they're babies, for God's sake, and nobody's doing anything because they don't know what to do.
No, so it's more important. The social media, the media talk about screening the sun now to take credit for the global, warming.
Well, the media is responsible for not everything, but the deep state's responsible for everything, and the media is responsible for perpetrating the lie, because it comes from the deep state to the media, because they have to support them, and they have to support the Democratic Party, for example, because They lie, they lie, they lie, but one lies and one swears to it, as we say. So the Democrats are lying, and the media is picking up everything the Democrats saying. The Republicans, they're not any cup of cake either, you know. But Trump is a good solid character. He was a great president, but they had to get rid of him, because if they didn't get rid of him, Trump was going to destroy the deep swamp.
Yeah, he was busy, and
he was fishing with a big rod, and they got nervous. They're still nervous because they're running around in Europe now and moving their assets from Europe over to Asia because Europe doesn't want them. You know, it's just a matter of time before Europe loses the European Union. It's not going to be a European Union. It'll go back to the states that they had. And the money that we have in the bunkers will go back to them, the ones that are drachma, peso, lira, because they were paying, not penalties, but they were paying, they leased the gold. The gold backed their money, but then it stopped. And they kept doing this, and they kept pumping money and more money, which is worth nothing into the game. So, I mean, when you get a 100 euro note today, and it says, I owe you. But you know something? They can't pay that. They're broke. They're broke. And they're easy to come after, and I'm going after them. They're the ones who are coming after me. You know, I'm going to get that young lady in the blue over here, and we're going to go running in the jungle.
Excellent. We're packing. We're ready to go anywhere you say. We come.
So I'll leave you with Bali. I'll go in the jungle. The girls like Bali.
Perfect.
And it's been crazy what you're watching. And nowadays, it's crazy because you can see what they're doing because they're telling you. They're telling you that they're destroying the planet, and nobody's moving on it. No. That's because Trump hasn't got into office yet. And you know something? Biden, who's supposed to be our president, he's not stepped a foot in the White House yet. Yeah, no. Nor has he been on Air Force One, which Trump has been using all the time. I think it's a matter of a couple of days, maybe a week, before Trump is put back into his place. And it will not be in Washington. Washington, D.C. belongs to the English, the royal family in England. They're the ones who created this, basically, and they've been using it ever since. It's called the District of Columbia.
Yeah, he got 1.5% of the votes in Washington, D.C. Trump.
Well, they get more than that. They get more than that.
No, I mean, Trump got votes 1.5% from Washington.
Yep. We have an IRS in the United States, but our Constitution doesn't call for an IRS. It doesn't call for any taxes at all. So they're illegally taxing the people, and they've been for so long. But when the money goes into the IRS wire it out to the IMF so that all the banks can get their hands into it, the Vatican as well, and the Queen. You know, you gotta know, I dealt with that Queen before. And you know, I think she thinks I'm a monster or something.
You work on other levels, other departments.
But look at what we did. Look at what we did to Queen Beatrice in the Netherlands. Yeah. She resigned. Look what Sarkozy did. He withdrew from the race as from presidency. He withdrew. Look what Berlusconi did. He went to jail for 2 years. and it just goes on and on because we're all over watching these things. And we have the Dragon family satellite. And we can see boats being loaded with gold in the Bay of Bangkok, which was Obama. The $3 trillion Obama stole from the government in the United States. That went to Iran. Iran provided him with gold. They're bringing out gold in the Bay of Bangkok. And Obama had more money for the Shah of Iran's son. And they didn't get to do that because the satellites had already alerted everyone down below from the Dragon family and governments and military that the gold was being stolen. So if you look at my page on the internet, you'll see exactly what happened, and the gold never left. The same thing happened in South Korea. You know, she's in jail now, Madam Park. You know what I mean? We caught her.
Prime Minister.
And, you know, the G20 left Japan, and many of them went over to South Korea to formulate a plan to steal the assets. And we came in, and if you remember, we had pictures of them in the room negotiating, and they wondered how I got those. You know, I can get my hands on all kinds of things. It's so much. That's what I like, the competitive part.
It's a genius.
And when you're done, I have to go out and have a few tequilas.
No, excellent, Neil. It's an honor to speak to you and be here on this program. How do you see yourself with the spiritual encounters you get more and more?
You know, in the beginning, it shocked me. It did shock me. I couldn't believe this is stuff that fairy tales are made out of, and the bad guys are after the good guys, and the good guys are after the bad guys. And here I am, and looking around in my hotel room, or the suite I had, and my bathroom door is locked, and I get hit on my back in the shower, and I fall down, and my head's going toward the edge of the marble or porcelain tub. I stretch my neck, and I'm ready to go out. And I hear people say, "Get up, get up, get up! They're going to jump on you." And yeah, I'm still thinking, "Who's this? Who's going to jump on me?" But I got up. I had a bad leg at the time. It hurt my leg, but my leg fell underneath me in the bathtub when I fell. When I got up, that pain was gone. Now I had a new pain where they hit me in the back.
Okay.
So I made it very clear, like I told you before, that I'm going to do what I have to do. This is my room. You get the hell out. Get out.
It was funny with this. You mentioned this hand under your bed. I mentioned this. If you have a depiction of a snake, it's very smart to have under your bed or next to your bed. Also,
I think it was trying to steal my money.
La mano negra. La cosa.
Let me tell you, that hand was out there. It was black, and it wasn't the arm, but the wrist area was black too. And I think I turned the light on a little too quick for it because it didn't have the chance to get under the bed. And you know, I had been going to bed and feeling something under me in bed. No, it wasn't any woman. Lou was thinking it was a woman, and I was sleeping. Nevertheless, it was whenever this would move, and I kept trying to find a spot on the bed where I'd be safe. Like, you know, what is this like a Freddy Krueger thing? And it comes up from under the bed and gets me. No, it's not going to happen. But in this case, I turned the light on and I saw it, and it was absolutely insane to see that thing go under the bed so quick. And then I lifted the bed up, of course, and nothing there. Nothing. Again, nothing. That's like the second or third time. And, you know, but the one better than that was when that leg came out of my wardrobe. You know, where my clothes are hanging. There's this leg that came out. It's a man. Don't get excited. It was a man. It was a man, and just a leg was coming out, and I was looking, going, "Oh God, what now?" You know? Big long leg came out, just a leg, touched down. Then the other leg came out, and I said, "The two legs and no body, wonderful." You know, and then the body came out, and the guy came out with his head, and his head was pretty big, and he stooped down. He stooped down in the room, and he put his finger to his lip like this and went. And I said, "Sure, what's going on? You know, what are you doing in here?" And he went to the window and he looked out the window, both windows, both ways, and then he came back and he stuck his thumb up like this, and he went back into the armoire, and I went and opened the armoire up to see what's in there. Nothing. I said, "Oh shit, this has got to stop."
No,
But-
we must not stop. It's upgrade. Capacity is growing, so the more you communicate, the more you will see.
Well, when I was in the mountains in Chickamauga, in Indonesia, we were in the mountains up at the bunker area in the middle of the afternoon, with no warnings at all. We had a eclipse of the sun, and we were up in the middle. We had monkeys all over the place and everything else, and tigers, Sumatra tigers, and we had a white cobra and Gila monsters and all kinds of things up there, and they're all around, and they were supposedly, you know the story, because they were supposedly protecting me, and and for some reason I wasn't worried. Otherwise, I think I would have been, but I think they had something to do with this, the spiritualists, I mean, I climbed the mountain. I wouldn't climb a mountain when I was 18. I'd say I'd fall and hit a tree or something. Forget about it. Here I am climbing at my age, and made it up and moved down. But I saw that eclipse, and then when the eclipse it went away, gradually ebbing to the sunlight again, to daylight. I looked at the bunker, which was down below, that I had touched with my stick. Now, you talk about Harry Potter, and his sticks and things. This woman, I understand, got in trouble somewhere because she was taking someone's information. But those sticks actually exist, of many of them. I have a stick here that if I hit the ground 3 times with it and point it at somebody, if I clean it with rose oil, it will shoot a flame.
Yeah, I have a similar stick here from a master from Cuba. So this also have when you take a photo, you see the
Light.
some eyes or some
Eyes.
light inside. I will send you a photo. It's very interesting. This is from a grandmaster in Cuba, which was given to Juan Hermes. So it's a magic stick too.
Protection. Also, Esther has one, huh? Also, Esther. Everybody here is going.
I'm going to get my stick right here.
This is Esther's stick. This is
it's in the other
from
room.
Brazil.
You got a stick too, huh?
Everybody,
Yes.
stick is important.
Everybody here.
We're a sticky group.
We play hockey.
Let me see. I'm going in this room. You never know what's in the rooms,
Exactly. There are millions of spirits in this world, more than humans.
Now I can show my stick.
Oh, let's go.
So I'm still putting things in. I'm putting things in the house still. This is a wooden stick. This is a power stick.
We don't have the.
This is not.
No.
Now we have.
Yeah, well, just give me a second. I got to get it out of the thing. I need my hands. Okay.
¿Es un bastón de agua?
This is the transfer of power.
Oh,
When I
wow.
became Amana, became Amana, I was given.
Oh, nice.
Beautiful.
Little bit away from the camera, please.
Wow.
Oh.
Sukarno. Wow.
This is President
Fantástico.
Sicano.
Beautiful.
Sí.
Maravilloso.
This is President Sicano, and if I keep this clean, it does wondrous things. Every Thursday night he's supposed to have a bath, and I keep forgetting Thursday.
Torsdag.
He's a very dirty man right now. He's mad at me.
Wow.
Es una maravilla.
Yeah,
Maravilloso.
See?
Wow.
yeah, fantastic.
Beautiful.
I told you I had.
Wow.
We are a radio program
Can
that try to enlighten people with exactly what we speak about now by spiritual
Let me
encounters.
tell you, it exists.
I know. I've seen so many things I cannot even speak about.
I mean, I got the black book in here. You heard of the black book?
Yeah.
This
Yeah,
is
and
the
also.
black book.
Yeah,
The black
also.
book is right here.
Yeah,
See,
also.
see it?
Black.
That's the black book. This is the book of the Maklamat. These are
Well.
the Green Hilton Agreement is there, the book of conveyance. I mean, these are all books that everybody in the world talks about, but I have.
You know, the truth always is like the mainstream media nowadays, the church and all these newer religions, they always try to change their truth because they don't want us to be empowered. So everything is opposite.
And you know where it all comes from, don't you? It comes from your third eye.
Yeah, pineal gland activation.
They went into Ireland and destroyed the Druids in Ireland because the Druids had all been using their third eye.
Exactly. And that is our bloodlines. That's why we connect. We've been family before, doing rituals.
Yep. Exactly. That's why we have to. That's why we have to get it back. We have to get it back, and we have to get the use of our facilities back. Our third eye here and everything else.
Mm-hmm. You must come and look, Lu, and these witches. They have a big temple here in Barcelona, and it's more real than I ever thought possible. So I've seen, things what this overcome every movie I've seen before. Yeah,
it's insane. It's insane. You know, like I was telling you, the mountain. The mountain trip was the mountain trip was on that trip I made. There were 3 or 4 things that happened that were phenomenal to me. But I had just finished passing the rituals, which allowed me to become Amana. Up to that point, everyone who took the rituals underwent the rituals, they either died on the first ritual, went blind, or deaf. And you know, here I come along. And nobody tells me it's a ritual. I say, sure, I'll do it. So why not? I like going deaf and blind and everything. But nothing bothered me. Nothing. I had a body. My body became so relaxed. I didn't know it. I mean, we were stuck in the jungle in the middle of the night. I was on a rock in one of the pictures. You saw that, and I was looking around. There was no way out, but a light was provided to us.
Yeah, orb.
A light came from the bottom of the river, came up, and that was the orb. But the thing in the cave that I told you about, the rod, that's what I saw. I saw the rod going up and down, coming around, spinning and creating light. The orb created light. Then I find out the orb is my energy. Mm-hmm. That's
and the spirit from the river is Oshun.
What?
The spirit from the river coming up is from Oshun. You have Yemanja and you have Oshun.
Oh shit!
No. Ochun. A goddess.
Oh,
Goddess.
The river goddess.
River goddess. She yellow, color yellow.
Energy from the
color
river.
yellow. I'll tell you, in the room though, when I left the room, finally opened the door after shaving and everything, I wasn't leaving because I paid for that. It was mine, and I was taught to just be aggressive with something if you saw it. And when I opened my door to my suite, my bedroom, the windows were open, and I said, "Wow, I didn't open those." And then the door was open to the living room, and I looked in the living room, and 5 or 6 windows were open, all of them. And then the door to the building was open too, to my room. I said, what the? That's when I had to get the prince to help me. I went up, I got my friends to go up and get on the prince, and he came down, and he looked around, and he says, you have to leave here. I said, I'm not leaving here. He says, it doesn't want you here. I said, I don't want my room. It's my room, it's got to go. I paid for it.
Wow.
Yeah, so some of these spirits, you know, if they cannot inflict fear or something on you, they have to admit they lose.
Well, you know, the thing is if I had known what I know now, I could have worked out a deal with it and let it stay. It wouldn't have mattered to me.
That's the thing, you can always communicate, and there's always a reason. Some sources, or it comes from somewhere, so you always can find out who sent them also. Mm-hmm. But
yeah, that's exactly right. And up in the mountains, after the eclipse, I looked up. I mean, we had opened the hole. I had the power stick with me, and I touched these spots I was supposed to touch, and the boulder at the bottom of this pile moved just a little bit. But when it did, rocks started coming from the top, and that's when I stopped. Because I didn't want to be buried under those rocks. But it opened it up. It opened it up a little bit, and you could look in and see the bunker. You could see it. And I had asked the jinn, the king of the jinn, to leave it open up, leave it 6 to 12 inches open, so we can get in. And he didn't do anything about the rocks, but the door was open 6 to 12 inches. He did what I asked him to do. I had to be more defined when I asked him to do something. I understand now. But you could see in. And when Nelu put his nose up there and looked in through that little hole, 2 red eyes looked back at him.
Red dragon. I had the same experience with approval of red dragon.
Well, the red dragon is the red dragon that's there now. It's make believe. It's make believe. It's a guy from Sweden who's running the show.
No, I mean, I'm not on the, but I had a scaly eye, a portal opening, and it gave me acceptance. And in that moment, I got a lot of downloads. It's actually a red dragon with scales.
Yeah, but the red dragon is real.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
The red dragon is real. What's not real is the people trying to emulate the organization.
Okay.
We
Very last.
very because the time is finishing.
It's an honor to speak to you. Before I presented the way to start for people who are feeling that they're more in this world is to communicate with animals, because animals communicates with thoughts. So something we have to finish. I'm very sorry, but you had encounters with animals. Suddenly all animals start to look at you in a different way, and to me this is just another answer that you are a chosen one, like more of us here.
Well, look at the monkeys. The last story I'll tell you. The last time I was there in Indonesia, I was in Indonesia, Chikabumi, and at the Grand Ina Hotel. And we left and we went to go back into the jungle. And we didn't go in. We stayed outside the jungle area, but there was a monkey at the door. And I looked at him and walked by him, and I ignored him. And then I turned around and scared him. Ooh! And he jumped and came back down. And he looked at me and showed me a smile. And then we did a video there. And then we came out, and there was a smell of perfume in the air. And my friend Joe said, Neil, that's the oil that you bought the gin before. That they're telling you that they're here. And I said, well, we're going back home now, Joe, to the hotel. So we went to the hotel. I'm unpacking my clothes, and Joe says, Neil, come look at this. It's on the platform down below on the roof. And I came and looked, and it had to be 300 monkeys. They followed us back from the jungle, and they were still climbing over the telephone wire from the jungle over to the hotel. And I said, what do they want? They want to talk to you, Neil. I said, get out of here. I'm not a monkey monkey.
This is brilliant. No, I have a similar experience. It's beautiful.
This is what happened. I said, I talked to them and they got quiet. And then I said, go back to where you came from. Thank you very much. I know you're supposed to protect me, and I'm sure you will. You did a good job. Thank you. And they started going back. And Joe looked at me and I said, Joe, maybe they did want to talk to me. I said, crazy, huh? Now we go back downstairs to the hotel, the desk reception. Going out the door, and I go, Mr. Keenan. I go, what? What were all the monkeys here for? I said, I don't know. Maybe they were looking for you. They looked like they were talking to you. I said, no, I was mumbling and they were reading my lips.
We have
That's
1 minute, Thor.
Yeah, I'm very sorry. We have to cut it short because this is live, not live, but recordings in 1 hour. So I really would be honored if you would like to go again in a month or two.
We can do it when I'm in Indonesia.
Perfect. It's really an honor, and for people who don't know who Neil Keenan is, he's the key to elevate of humanity. So he's very important. Lu saw you in her sites a very long time ago, like this.
Who was doing that? Not me.
Yeah, no, lifting something very heavy.
Oh, okay. It's a fun. It's a lot of excitement. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of everything. It's all mixed in, and it keeps life exciting. And you know something, we're gonna win. That's the key to the whole thing.
Fantastic.
That I felt from the first moment that you are the one, the M1, the Amana.
Well, they offered me the M1 before the Amana, and I refused it.
Oh, well.
And I didn't want to do all that. And the West was involved, and the West is involved only because the cabal is involved. And I didn't want to get anywhere near that at all. I didn't want anybody to think that I was that, because I'm far from that. And I said no. And then after doing the rituals, the Sultan grabbed me and he showed me the agreement that we have, and I have it here. It's hanging on the wall, and it's my Amanar agreement from the Sultan and 39 elders.
We have to cut.
Okay, from the 39 elders, we have to say thank you very much. It's an honor, really an honor. The lady in blue, she's coming to Manil. What did you say? Manali?
Where? Lady Blue, Esther?
Lady in blue?
Lady.
Where should I go? Where? To where?
Where's the lady in blue going?
Okay. Wait me.
No,
I'm coming.
She come visiting.
Yes, of course.
Hey, Christmas is coming too.
Very soon, okay. Thank you very much. See you soon.
It's an
We
honor.
love you.
We
Thank
love
you
you.
very much.
Thanks.
Your family.
Thanks
See you
a
very
lot.
soon.
You take care, and yo estoy practicando mi español.
Fantástico.
Fenomenal. Next time, nosotros hablaremos en español.
Yo hablo bastante. He vivido pasar la vida en mi país.
Señor, ¿pero cómo es eso? ¿Pero cómo es eso? Que hablas español y no nos has dicho nada.
Y más tarde en República Dominicana.
¡Oh, my God!
Santo Espíritu.
Yo necesito practicar.
Bueno,
Muy bien.
practicaremos.
El tiempo, no tengo
Tiempo al tiempo. Muchas gracias, Neil Keenan. Es un honor. Te esperamos en España, pero en cualquier caso iremos a visitarte. Muchas gracias, te queremos. Tienes aquí tu familia española, noruego-española.
Muchas gracias a ti.
Gracias, te queremos. Bueno, y a todos ustedes les emplazamos al próximo viernes. Como ven, esto siempre es una fiesta. Les esperamos la próxima edición de Vivir en Luz. Gracias, chicos. No tenemos tiempo. Gracias.
Ya vivirá.